Hello everybody, so today is Wednesday and we are streaming and painting this lovely miniature from Kingdom Death. Okay, so there are no viewers yet, so perhaps I should wait for a little bit, which is gonna be really awkward for the VOD. Ah, there we go. How is everybody doing? Just let me know whether everything is fine, the volume and stuff like that. So, as I mentioned, hello. So, is volume okay? Is everything fine? Can you see everything? Excellent. Peachy from Warhammer TV. Is that you? Okay, so unfortunately I have noticed that on this model there are some gaps here and there. So for example, right between her shoulder and between her torso. Ah, okay, I see. Okay, Peachy. So there is a gap basically, and I noticed some other gaps just when I primed this mini, but it was already too late because I decided to paint this one. Hey Sergey, how are you? Has anything changed in like 1.5 hours? Yeah, so as I said, basically there are some little gaps here and there on the model. And I noticed, for example, this little gap. I am not even sure it's visible, really. Hopefully it is. You can see it in the reflection. But basically I want to fill those gaps, and I will do that in the worst way possible. And that is that I'll take this vehicle surface primer and I will apply it into recesses and hope that it will cure, and there we go. So yeah, that's what we are gonna do right now, and hopefully we'll get to actually painting the miniature in a little bit. Hey DJ Khalifa, how are you? I also tried to set up a camera angle for my wet palette, but unfortunately the camera didn't really work. So we'll see if we can set it up for the future streams. Thank you for the follow, DJ Khalifa. Oh, and I also increased the volume of the music a little bit, so hopefully it's not too overwhelming and you can hear me just fine. I was a little bit worried about painting this particular mini on stream. So I checked in with Zambies yesterday, and she told me that like KDM, because this is Kingdom Death Mini, that the Kingdom Death Minis are okay to stream, and it's within terms of service. So there we go. No, so this is actually my second stream. So yeah, I started streaming just very recently. So if anything goes wrong, you can roast me and maybe tell me some feedback. Hey, how are you? So for anyone joining the stream right now, what I'm doing is applying a black primer in the recesses, because I noticed that some of the model has some very bad gaps, and I'm not too happy with that because I want this mini to be nice. So I'm essentially filling those gaps with primer, which is not really a good idea, but at this point, since we are already streaming, and of course this miniature has been already primed, I don't really want to strip it, so that's what we are doing. Yeah, as I already mentioned, there is like this somewhat ugly gap between the shoulder and the chest. So hopefully a few layers of this surface primer will do the trick. The audio of this stream gets cut off for a few minutes. Huh, interesting. Honestly, everything on my end seems fine. So, not sure what to do. I saw someone, don't remember who, that uses gloss varnish or gloss varnish for, don't remember which varnish, to fill the gaps, but I think it would take a long time to dry. Yeah, well, honestly, this is very similar to that. So yeah. It is also very likely that if I just used a bit thicker base coat, it would be totally enough, but don't want to risk it, honestly. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, so MiniQuest64 told me that there might be some issue with my audio. So if you guys notice anything, just let me know, and I will try to fix it on my end. But so far, I think everything's good. Great, fantastic. So, MTech Productions, what we are doing right now is filling gaps of the model. I know that I should have used like milliput or plastic thin cement, which I tried to use, but I noticed that some gaps are still visible after priming it. So now we gotta fill those gaps, unfortunately, with a primer, which is definitely not great. But yeah, that's how we roll. It's already a bit better, honestly. And right after that, I will start priming the miniature, or rather use a zenithal highlight. And I thought doing the gym for the first time in a week was the thing that would make me vomit today. Well. Hope you have your bucket ready. I mean, honestly, it's not too bad. Like, of course, ideally you want to do it before actually using brush on your mini, but it's not too bad. So I thought that you actually won't come to the stream because you are going to the gym. So what happened there? Are you joining us from the gym? Times were wrong. What does that mean? Did you mix up your schedule? Thank you for the follow, Kaisgat. So, I'm not sure if you can see the gap on the shoulder properly, or rather between the shoulder and the chest. But if you guys have an opinion on this, let me know, because as it is, I think it's fine. And I could actually start working on the model instead of just filling the gaps. Oh, sorry. Here is the gap. It also might be the case that it will be more visible once we prime it with the zenithal highlight. You know what? Just a few more layers. Okay, just a few more layers. Come on. I mean, can always hide it as a muscle slash shadow line. Yes, I guess I could, but the gap is too sharp for that, and I don't think that she is so buff that there would be actual visible line between the muscles in this case. She doesn't really look like the type that works out a lot. I also wanted to put a little bit more effort into this particular mini because I like it quite a bit. And if the gaps are visible, that would be just a disaster. I can't even tell whether everything is nice and visible on the stream. Of course, the mini is still black, so it's not that obvious which feature is what. So we'll see once I prime it with white. But yesterday I actually watched some other streams, and I was quite surprised that many streamers. I don't want to be like rude or anything, but I think that their minis could be more closer to the camera because I couldn't see everything properly, to be honest, which is quite unfortunate. But of course, that wasn't the case for all of the streams. Okay, it's still drying. I will pull out my airbrush soon for the zenithal highlight. Devil's advocate. You gotta be careful about keeping it dead center and not drifting off to the sides as you are painting. I agree. I guess that because I paint a lot on camera for YouTube, that I already have some experience in that field. But still, you know, it's just better user experience, I guess, when you can see everything. But then, for example, I went to Jose Da Vinci's stream and everything was fine. So it's not like everyone has the mini basically invisible on stream. And I still assume that sometimes people watch the streamer not for the painting, maybe just for the streamer, right? Yeah, okay. So let's turn on the compressor. Yeah, I think the gap looks actually pretty good now. It's very smooth. Oh, fantastic. Oh, mama. Shit, where's my brush? But just for a good measure, let's do it one more time, shall we? Clarkatron 3000. I also think some streams are more of a hangout and the streamer is the main focus comparing with other streams where the painting is the focus. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I can see that. I think I mentioned that, right? Okay, so after this last layer, I will just use my airbrush so it's dry faster, and after that we are gonna apply the zenithal. However, if you don't see the miniature clearly on this stream, just tell me, because I want you guys to actually see what I'm doing here. That's also the reason why I wanted to set up a camera angle on my wet palette, which unfortunately didn't work out. I am using right now like 8 different USB slots, USB input. So maybe the last camera just it was just too much. Fantastic. And weirdly enough, I am actually streaming with autofocus right now. And when I'm recording for YouTube, I don't use autofocus at all, because it fucks all my footage, I have found. But for streaming, it's fantastic. Very strange. Okay, this is good enough. Let me just blow some air on it so it's dry. Also, I am using my really old airbrush that has been through all kinds of shit, honestly, and it works fantastic. I was trying to clean my Infinity CR Plus today, so it works for the stream, but it just won't work for some reason. I think that some part inside got broken. So if anyone tells you that you should buy some expensive airbrush, some quality airbrush, don't. It really doesn't matter. It's just a tool that propels air, right? Doesn't do anything special. I mean, I can imagine that if you are airbrushing for multiple hours, then it might be worth it because it's more comfortable in your air. But otherwise, it doesn't do anything special. Welcome! Any idea why my airbrush works fine, but every like 5 minutes sprays out just water, no paint? Well, I have zero clue. Honestly, I am not an airbrush expert, so I don't know. I just got an airbrush from AliExpress. I will try it this weekend. Honestly, airbrush from AliExpress is all you need. Thank you for the follow, Beast Cry. But my compressor is one of those small crappy ones. Yeah, okay, so I think that actually some investment into compressor is good, but the pistol itself doesn't matter. Have you looked down the O hole with the needle? And yeah, I checked everything basically. I've had to clean my Infinity with pipe cleaners last week. Should have taken pictures. Hey, I mean, if you can send those to me on Discord, that'll be fantastic. If you can't, that's also fine. I have this cheap ass airbrush which works fantastic, so like, no worries. Maybe the compressor is generating too much water. Oh yeah, actually you can check that in... I'm not gonna pick up the compressor for the stream, but basically there is the thing which dehumidifier, I think it's called, and that catches excess water. If it's broken, it will generate more water, and maybe it will send it through the pipe to the airbrush. Ping me so I remember to do it. Officer Vi drops tomorrow. Is that actually a commission just for you? You guys can't see what I'm doing with my airbrush. Well, basically I put in some white primer and that's it. Nothing special. I think it might be even too watery. Yeah, definitely too watery. So this is not the ideal consistency. Let me get a paper. Nah, just for me. Not just for me. Ah, okay. Ah, I see. Okay. Because I'm still thinking, because I owe you the Vi, of course. I'm thinking which Y should I paint? And Officer Vi is definitely a great skin. Okay, so hopefully it's in focus. Okay, I am not doing that. Fuck that. That's way too big. Dude, it would take me so much time to paint a miniature of that scale. It would be unreal. Jesus Christ. It's way too watery. But I think the gap is not really visible. But you guys tell me. But you know that I do like painting with a paintbrush. An airbrush just for some special stuff, like priming them. Maybe airbrush glazing, shading. I mean, if you let me downsize it, maybe I can paint it then. On camera this looks good, but believe me when I say that this is way too gray and quite dark. Holy shit, I love this airbrush. It's fantastic. If I did this with my Infinity CR Plus, it would get clogged like right away. And mind you, it's the same needle size. Yeah, still dark, but better, I guess. It'll look like ass. Why? Thank you for the follow, Drakisa. Okay, this might be good. I think we can start now. Oh man, I'm so glad that the gaps worked out. Yeah, okay, this is our primed miniature. Let me just clean my airbrush real quick so it doesn't get wrecked like my Infinity. There we go. You have about 10% give when downsizing before details start getting lost. Okay, so I assumed that like downsizing is not a problem, but upscaling, of course, is stupid because the details are basically not meant for that. Huh, okay, I see. Because it's super standard procedure for me that I get, for example, sponsor that offers me an STL of base of their like original size, and I downscale it to all the way to like 70, sometimes 60%, and it's fine. Or at least I cannot really notice it. I wanted to upscale Mini-X Kickstarters, and the guys doing the supports basically showed me how bad it looked. Okay, I also assumed that it's a problem if you change the size when the model is pre-supported. But if it's not supported, I thought it's fine. Just clean the airbrush real quick. Yeah, see, it depends on what scale they are sculpted for. Huh. Okay. If you upscale a 32mm to 1/6 scale, it looks bad. Alright, but if you downscale 1/6 to 32mm, then what? Does it still fuck it up? Same if you scale down what? Okay. Huh. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so I think that I'll start with my favorite thing to paint. And you can guess what it is. And actually, you know what? Since I have the airbrush here already, I will base coat it with my airbrush. That's not a bad guess. Boobs. Well, the skin tone. Or rather, the skin. Yeah, by the way, this stuff looks like a mushroom, but it's definitely not one. Let me remove it. That was blue tech, by the way. Imagine hero scale 32 miniatures. They are out of proportion. So if you scale them up. Yeah, I always knew that upscaling anything is problematic, but I thought that scaling it down is not. By the way, MiniQuest64 has a really cool YouTube channel, and you guys should definitely watch it after the stream, or throughout the stream, I guess. He makes like gaming dioramas, and his last upload was a Warcraft diorama, so yeah, check it out, really cool. No worries at all. Also, the VOD is gonna be on this Twitch channel, so hopefully people in the future will see it as well. So you get yourself some nice subscribers on YouTube. Okay, so let's base coat the skin. I am using mahogany brown. With the skin tones, to be honest, I never know how dark to go. But what I found out recently is that it's way better to start like somewhere in the middle and then go from there. And again, if you guys don't see anything, just let me know immediately so I can adjust the camera. I think that last time I have mentioned that it's very stressful to stream and paint and at the same time check whether everything is in focus. So we are doing 3 things at the same time. And I am not a woman, so I am shitty at multitasking. When you're recording just for YouTube, it's fantastic because you just have to paint. The focus is set on manual, so nothing really moves. So I have to get used to this. Whew. Okay, if anything sucks about this airbrush, it's that if you are pulling the trigger for long enough, your finger starts to hurt. Thank you for the follow, MadMass85. By the way, could you guys see like the alerts that I have set up? I have also tried to set it up so there is some music. I mean like when the alert is on. Hopefully it works. Alright, so I have noticed that there is some texture under her armpit. So what I'm gonna do is take a blade and just scratch it off. So if you are still here, MTech Productions, I think that this will make you vomit 100%. Thank you for the follow, Quesos. It's good that you are here because we are painting some Kingdom Death. Okay, so let's pause the airbrush for a bit. I definitely did. I mean, your nickname is very recognizable. Alright, so if you guys have a very sensitive personality, I would urge you, or I would suggest that you don't look, because I'm gonna do something that you shouldn't really do, and that is remove texture with a blade. Hopefully you can see it. There is this little build-up of texture. It's very, very tiny. On stream I can see it that it's hidden under her hair. But basically I will try to scratch it off. Yeah, I hate when that happens as well. And it happens quite frequently, honestly. Now, some people leave it, and honestly, it's not like a deal breaker, even in competitions. But I wouldn't be able to sleep, personally. But that's just me. Okay, it's still not gone. Christ. Sometimes what I do, if it's like too bad, is I take isopropyl alcohol, put it in my pipette, then like spread it on my table just a little bit, then take some brush that I don't really care about, and basically just spot strip it. I found a new blade has a bit higher chance to create a nice clean up without ruining the primer too much. Well, yeah, I totally agree with that. This blade is new, so hopefully I can make it work. I mean, if I cannot really do anything with it, I will just cake it up in a thick base coat or a layer. Because as it is right now, by the way, you cannot really see it on stream because it's under her hair. Yeah, now you can see it, hopefully. yeah, the little bit of dust that has been baked in there is gone, but now there is a hole. So that is a whole different texture. Okay, it's fine. Jesus Christ, what happened here? Can you see that? Huh. It seems like I didn't file it down properly. Damn. Oh well. I will just leave it darker and hope for the best. I think this is good enough. So now, let me clean the airbrush and then we can proceed with the skin tone. So Quesos, by any chance, if you are still here, have you painted Easter pinup Aya already? This is exactly the model that I'm talking about right now. So if anyone is wondering where we'll take this miniature, I will try to approach the box art for it. Well, there isn't really a box art for it. There is just like box illustration. And I will show you that in a minute. Yeah, this is what we are aiming for. Alright, so hopefully the airbrush is now clean. Well, let's give it a try. Just a little more. Okay, this looks good enough. I'm also leaving a little bit of flow improver inside the airbrush, so hopefully it won't fuck it up. Now let's paint. Ah, thank you for the follow, Hendarion. I'm so glad that there are so many people that I actually recognize. So Hendarion is a well-known painter from Instagram. Check him out. Hey, how are you? I picked a bunch of paints because I'm not too sure which direction to take this miniature. So this was the base coat, the mahogany brown. I think that I'll combine like these two, mahogany brown and beige red. And that's gonna be like the first layer on top of our base coat. And we'll cover like 90% of everything that we have base coated in the skin tone parts on the skin. Now you guys cannot really see how I'm mixing the color, but trust me, it's not as interesting as you might think. I already mentioned that I wanted to set up my camera for my wet palette, but unfortunately the last camera didn't want to connect to my laptop because I already used like too many slots. Thank you for the follow, Da Ganozal. So, yeah, no palette camera. Hey, how are you doing? Okay, I'm covering a bit too much here. I'll fix that later, but I wanted to leave the recesses with the original base coat. It's alright. Always nice to see how other big names do their brushstrokes. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you really cannot see how I would actually approach like super high level painting or like my full ball sack painting, I guess, because it's kinda different when I'm painting on stream. And some live paint leakage. I don't think that I have licked the brush yet. Have I? I did that the last stream, but I'm trying not to. Knackered from work. Try to do some painting, but my arms feel like wet noodles, so relaxing time instead. Okay, I see. Everyone needs to relax. We're gonna spend a lot of time on this skin. Because if there is something that needs to be smooth, it's the skin tone, right? I'm not even sure that we can manage to finish it on stream today. Guess I'll have to postpone work. My second bus till next week. Darn adult schedules and responsibilities. Or, hear me out, you can become a professional painter. Talk about killing two birds with one stone. What is your job exactly? If it's not a secret. To be honest, since high school I tried to work hard so I don't have to have a 9-to-5 job. And luckily, by the end of my university years, it worked out. Thank you for the follow, Jamie. Hey, how are you? Yeah, so I'm trying to put the first layer down on the face, but I'm absolutely unsure whether you guys can see it. So, as always, you guys can cooperate with me and tell me whether everything is in focus or not. Also, if I'm asking way too often, you can tell me that as well, I guess. Yeah, pretty okay. It sucks that I cannot really open the window, otherwise you guys wouldn't hear shit. So I am being fried alive at this point. But other than that, fantastic. Thank you for the follow, and yeah, we really do. I was thrilled to see your stream in my suggested. I'm already a big fan of your YouTube channel. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. This is like my second stream ever. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out all this stuff. Well, we are sharing the busy part. Traffic sucks. So we got all kinds of messages in chat. Yeah, and you guys, I wanted to ask you. So whenever someone follows the channel, there should be alert, and there should be some audio with the alert. So does it work? I try to set it up so it does, but last time it didn't. And it's really quite fun, so hopefully it does work. There should be like trumpets going off. It does? Ah, fantastic. Cool. Oh man. So this is a bit complicated because I'm not sure if the light source will be more like, let's say, general and diffused, or if it should be like more frontal. If it's more frontal, then I guess that I should highlight the thighs on the bottom. But with this first layer, I guess it doesn't matter as much. But I'll have to think about it later, for sure. I think that I also mentioned that I am wondering whether this particular mini will be a problem to stream. But yesterday I confirmed with the zombies that it's not a problem, in fact. I thought it might be a bit too sexy for a stream. No nipples, yeah, that's right. So is it the nipple that sends it, that crosses the line, essentially? I also heard that if I actually take off my shirt, it's a problem. I mean, I don't really plan on taking off my shirt anyway, but still, kinda hilarious. What if I have no nipples? What then? Yep, haha, as long as there's no visible nipples, you're good. And Zambies has the best method for hiding nipples on models with googly eyes. Yeah, I actually found out, yeah. You're impervious then. I think that I have seen an Instagram model that actually surgically removed her nipples just so she can post pictures with her bare tits, you know. It looks super strange. Maybe if you tried, you can find it. Is the rimming hard on this model? I don't know. There is no base yet. Wink wink. What is up, MTech Productions? Thank you for the follow, PK1919. Okay, so I see that we have multiple members of my Discord channel. Actually, my Discord is logged behind the Patreon. So if you guys want to hang out, you can consider that. We have fun over there, rimming and stuff like that. Do you feel any added pressure when streaming? An average mini painter. Hey, how are you? Well, I do. I do feel pressure for sure. But not necessarily when it comes to painting, because I know that at the end of the day, this mini can look awesome if I give it enough time. But the pressure is in like me interacting with you guys and stuff like that. And whether everything is in focus and you guys, so you guys can see everything, you know, the technical stuff. Certainly it isn't as easy as if I was painting alone. You're going to leave competition pieces off stream? Not necessarily, but it's almost impossible for me to finish the entire piece on stream. Like, do a competition level, that's insane, you know? For example, there are some little adjustments on the face usually that I have to do. So that stuff cannot really be streamed. I guess it could be recorded offline at most. So like I'm open to painting some of the competition pieces on stream, or rather part of the process, but not the entirety of it. For example, even on this miniature, I feel like I will try to show off everything when it comes to painting the face and stuff like that. But I know for a fact that once the stream is over, most likely I will find some mistakes in the eyes or the eyelashes and eyebrows and stuff like that, and I will have to adjust it. So yeah. Streams are great, mate. Hope you keep them going. Thank you. So glad to hear that, because yeah, it's been a bit stressful to set all of this up. You wouldn't believe how many cables are on my table right now. I can actually show you, I guess. You cannot really see shit. Oh, there is a whole lot of stuff. That's pretty much the point. Huh. Favorite colors for skin tone? Honestly, I like 99% of the time I use beige red as some kind of mid-tone, and the rest really depends. I of course really like adding magenta into the shadows. I will add some magenta here as well because I love the color, and the rest really depends, because you still have many mid-tones, especially lighter mid-tones and highlights, which can make a whole lot of difference. Are your eyes good enough for paint minis all without glasses? Well, so I have contacts, I have contact lenses, but they are for distance. So it's very strange that I am painting with my contact lenses on, because I would see the mini even better if I took them off. If that makes sense. So I have astigmatism, and my particular how would you call it, diagnosis is actually beneficial when it comes to painting minis. Microscope like Murakami. Yeah, if I have to actually put out a microscope to paint my minis, then I have to paint bigger miniatures. I really want to avoid it. Make a photo and all errors will show up. Yeah, exactly. That happens all the time. Me like a beige red, yeah, same. I'm getting old enough to appreciate these magnifying glasses. There might be a day where I will do the same and wear magnifying glasses. But of course with contact lenses. If I take them off, it's even better for me. But for example, I wouldn't be able to read the chat properly. I tried using the magnifiers, but they give me headaches like the ones I get when not wearing my glasses. Yeah, too bad. I mean, like, what you can do is just paint bigger miniatures, nothing stops you. But of course, if you need to paint your little guys for Warhammer, then yeah, cannot do too much. Thank you for the follow, Spark Minis. I'm not sure if this part is supposed to be skin. Yeah, it is. Yeah, they have a very specific focal point, and if you try to look at stuff outside the focal point, it's a headache city. Yeah. I think I tried them like one time. No bueno. Not good at all, but I guess I just wasn't used to it. This camera. Oh yeah, I did my first bust. It was so freeing painting teensy infinity faces for once. See, paint bigger minis. Yeah, well, when I get older and my vision gets worse, then like for sure, then I can paint miniatures. But like even this scale, which I don't know if it's like 75 millimeters, I guess it's 54, 52, whatever that is. It's enough. If any of you guys know Limbo Division, it's very strange that those minis are like 75 millimeter scale. Yet, the faces have eyes that are so small that it's basically like they have eyes of a space marine. So. So it's no different than painting a small miniature in that regard. Older? I forgot you are youth. You know what? Let me set up a poll in this bitch. Because how do I do that? Manage poll. Create new poll. Question. How old is Zumikito? Oh, well, never mind. I have to set up answers as well, and it would take forever. So you guys tell me, how old do you think I am? Because I think that no one knows how old I am. '28, 29. 38. I know the answer. Well, congratulations. I know that you do. Just so you guys know, Solo the Tomato and MTech Productions are part of my Patreon. And no, Hendarion is not right. you knew the answer and you still missed. 69. Yeah, 69 is a good one. Nice. Oh, for fuck's sake. Wait, how old is the beard? I mean, do you want the joke answer or the real answer? I'm a wizard. Old ass wizard. So I think that I haven't been clean shaved since actually 8 years. Not since I was 8, that sounds weird, but the last time I've been clean shaven was like 8 years ago, I think. So what's the answer? Oh, okay, yeah, so I'm 27. I was 27 actually in April. But you were super close. It's just that MTech Productions has very shit memory. I don't know what to tell you, MTech Productions. I told you last year that I'm 26. Like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, so many chat messages. Yeah, I am like younger than most people. Happy birthday! A bit late, but thank you, Goops. Also very glad to see you here, and thank you for the follow. I'm sure that you guys are familiar with Goobertown hobbies. Very big YouTuber, makes awesome videos on YouTube. Oh my god, thank you for the sub. The 27 is very young for this hobby. Says the man who is fucking 17. If you're gonna be at Golden Demon 23, I think you mean 24, we need to hang out with it again. Yeah, for sure, I am open to that. 100%. So we are only 2 years apart. Interesting. Are you younger or older? I could have sworn you were 3 years younger than me. I think your beard might be older than you. Yeah, I think so too. I didn't even grow it. It just found me. It's a kind of symbiote. I wanted to do like an age reveal on my channel once I hit 100,000 subscribers, but I totally forgot to do that. Hey Napping Abra. Hey Joe, thank you for the follow. Missed the last stream, happy to be able to join this one. Love your content, thank you so much. I still have nothing ready for my Golden Demon 24. Well, neither do I, to be honest. For fuck's sake, I am 36 years older. You are a pup. I am. Like, what can I say? You know what? Sometimes I look at other painters and I tell myself, oh my god, I want to paint like them. And it'll be almost impossible to get there. But then I remember that I am quite young and I have so much time to improve. So maybe I have a chance to get there, since usually the painters that I really like and aspire to be like them, those painters are usually older. Still another fun fact, Zumikito has been voted sexist like 3 years in a row. That's true. Yeah, that beard would look good on a seasoned grognard. Would look good on anyone though. Disgusting youth. So don't watch me. What can I tell you? Honestly, I now totally understand that some streamers don't really bother whether they have the entirety of the miniature in focus and close to the camera, because the chatting is so much fun, and I feel like I am not that productive when it comes to painting this mini anyway. Man, I'm so glad that there are so many people that I recognize from this community. Yeah, we still have like 3 to 5 years of painting left before we become too old and frail for improvement. You know what? I don't really think that's true at all. I think that you can improve at any age, at anything. You just cannot. You just have to keep on learning new stuff. Once you stop learning new stuff, then it's bad and it goes downhill. I mean, I know people that are like 80, 90 and they still work with computers and smartphones. Not my grandma, though. I wonder who is the oldest miniature painter. No idea. Zumikito, do I get a reward for saying the words FTMO? What kind of reward would you like? That's a blast from the past. So FTMO, for anyone who is wondering, what does that mean? That's like a company that I used to work for, and I made some videos for them. And what they do is they offer capital for successful traders in on Forex, basically. Zoomy cutie. I know, but I wanted to bully the old man. I want a painted mini. I want a painted mini. You're not the only one. So tell me, guys, God, how do you know FTMO? Yes, I did trade for a bit, but honestly, like whenever I had a position opened on my MetaTrader, I couldn't focus on anything else. I was just that kind of trader, too anxious to do anything. So trading is definitely not for me. I mean, it's like poker. If you are good, if you want to be good at it, you cannot really involve emotions. You have to think about it like a game currency, even though it's real money. I know it because I trade too. Nice. Did you ever go through the entire evaluation process from the FTMO? Now I feel like people have no clue what we are talking about. But anyway, that is the company that I worked for. And maybe if you look them up on YouTube, you might see some videos where I talk about trading. But honestly, not sure. They might have deleted it at this point. It's also a Czech company. And since I am Czech, I found a job there and worked there for a bit. Just call yourself a gambler. To be honest, I really like playing poker, but it is true that I definitely involve too many emotions when I'm playing. Sounds like a fun job. Yeah, it was pretty good actually, and they offered me like huge money. But at that point, I started growing on YouTube a little bit. So it was either work at a 9 to 5 that is okay for a really good money, or chase your passion. So I guess you know what I did. I turned down real big money and chased my passion of making miniature painting videos. And when I told that to my mother, she was not excited at all. My job is boring at times. Can't chase my passion here when rent is almost 3K a month. Yeah, listen, I am at a very fortunate position where I am able to create content in a relatively cheap country, so that helps tremendously. I could go cheaper and move to, like, I guess, Thailand. I'm not sure what is the price level there. But being in Czech Republic is definitely a plus, because I am essentially taking Western money and living in the Czech Republic, so I don't have to make as much. And I think that I am that my living standard is pretty good. Just be homeless, no rent. Yeah, but you can't stream on the street, you know. Or you can, but not miniature painting. Time to move into Zumi Epic. So that means you're doing a giveaway and you are going to adopt the winner. You wish. A few years back, I considered suing expensive reenactment clothing and moving to Ukraine, but now, well... Also, I am not sure if like Ukraine and like even Russia is a good choice, because we do have some great hobby stores in Czech Republic, but once you move like way too east, you might not have access to paints and stuff like that. Or at least like that's my thinking process, you know. I have no idea what I'm saying, you know. USA dollar is 22 koruna. Is that good? Does the currency exchange help you? I mean, prices of the goods always adjust themselves, so it's not like I have some stream of income that comes in USD and some stream of income that comes in Czech koruna, and some goods and services I purchase in Czech koruna, and some goods and services I purchase in US dollar. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really fucking matter. Well, but to be honest, most of the stuff I buy is in Czech crown, you know, like the rand and stuff like that. So of course it's very beneficial when the Czech crown depreciates. I love the Philippines. Yeah, it's also a good place, I think, that where you might use the fact that you have Western money and live in a country that has low price level. Also, because of the FTMO job, I have some contact in Philippines. Or just like a few friends. And I know that it's not like a super developing country that is really poor. It's actually an okay country to be at. Are you going to do a wet palette cam? Yeah, I think that I mentioned it already 2 times, but you weren't here, perhaps. I tried to set it up, but for some reason the third camera didn't want to connect to my laptop. So perhaps I used too many USB slots and it's just too much for my laptop. In Minnesota, USA, yeah, I get paid in dollars, yet items are getting real expensive. A regular dinner out for 2 is easily 80 bucks. 80 bucks for 2. Yeah, for 80 bucks in here, that's like luxury dinner for 2. Maybe for 3 people even. Oh my god. There's a bit of hair. There's small hair on this shoulder. For some reason I can't, for the love of God, get it out. There we go. I just got Chinese buffet for 20. Huh, still expensive in here. Where do you live, Quesos? California. Okay, so then I assume that's fantastic. I take that back. Okay, I really want to move further with this miniature, but I feel like I always just have to fix some of the layers. Now, even though it's not blended perfectly, at the end I will come back to my airbrush and just spray some colors in the shades and it'll look great. So maybe I actually shouldn't give as much time to blending and such. California, the place for innovation and tech. Bad place to live if you live in city or urban area. Although I retire in 453 days, yeah, me, more hobby. Just started after 40 plus years. Whoa, that's a long break. Thank you for the follow, Axelodunom. Hey Zumikito, I'll just put this on background and paint alongside if you don't mind. Also loving your work and Discord server. Hey man, that's absolutely fine. Fantastic even. Thank you so much. Can leave since I have family here and don't want to go to other states. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to family and stuff like that, it always sucks. That if you want to support them or anything, you kind of have to live close. Just pay more money. By the way, do you see that I am painting the line in between the what do you call that? Just in this spot on the back. It's because skin is usually not like glossy, but it's satin, I guess. And since this part and this line in the middle is in the same angle facing the light source, it should be quite light as well. If you want some good examples of that, just look at some oily bodybuilders. I would love to freeze my ass 4 months a year. Here, my ass burns for 12 months a year. Where do you live? Is it Kali as well? Always look at the oily man. Speaking of oily man, do you guys know the miniatures that are supposed to represent like custodies? And it's like a mix of custodies and Pillar Man from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You guys know those miniatures? Happy to start teaching class and coaching to earn secondary income. To fund more of my hobby. Yeah, definitely great. Oh yeah. So, the rest of you, do you guys know the mix of Pillar Man from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Custodies? There are actual miniatures of them. Yeah. So I waited for those miniatures like 2 years and I got them. They are not as good as I imagined, like when it comes to quality and how big are the details and stuff like that. But I got them. And I wanted to paint them for an April's Fool video. But I was too busy. But I might still do that next year. Yeah, I waited for a long time. But honestly, 2 years is not that much. Just go ahead and talk to anyone that is waiting for Kingdom Death stuff. Because that shit takes ages. Shit, I just licked my brush. First time this stream. Huh. Okay, so I might finish this arm. Actually both arms, and then we can move on to different layer finally. This has been a bit exhausting, to be honest. Brush licking is the best technique. Well, it is until it isn't. Because one time I licked a certain red paint and it wasn't a pleasant experience. My mouth started to itch. Yeah. Pretty terrible experience. Wouldn't recommend it. Jesus Christ. Small side effects for perfection. I mean, as long as it's just like some itching and not swelling or, you know, you actually dying, I guess it's okay. But still, I wouldn't recommend anyone to lick their brushes. I have actually made one video where I paint a Kingdom Death miniature. And I tried to not use any water, and I didn't use a wet palette or a rinsing cup, but I still had to clean my brush because otherwise it wouldn't be usable. And of course, what I did is use my mouth to rinse the brush, which was pretty nasty. If I remember correctly, it was in the video about trying some cheap-ass paints which you bought in supermarket or something like that. Maybe? I mean, was it in a video anyway? I don't think so, necessarily. Like, the cheapest paints I wouldn't lick anyway. A historian friend of mine owns some arsenic yellow pigment. Better not lick that. Yeah, I wouldn't get near that stuff, honestly. Oh, come on. You better do toothpick challenge. I have no idea what that is. Slowly pulling my brush out of my mouth. Hey, what about red paint? Yeah, my mouth started to itch, which isn't great. I mean, not all red paints do that, I'm sure, and not to everyone, but you know what? Better safe than sorry. Thank you for the follow, Narwhal Hobbies. Ooh, oh boy. So let me show you guys something. Do you see this little thing on her arm? I suspect that this might be leftover plastic that I didn't cut off. So now what I have to do is remove it. Ah, okay, it was just paint. Alright. That's not too bad. Paint whole model with one toothpick. Who does that? I mean, it sounds stupid enough that I would consider doing it. Napping Abra. Forgot to ask when I popped in. Who is the Boba Bunny girl? Yeah, so this miniature is from Kingdom Death. And it's called Easter Aya. Let me actually type it down. Just need to finish these arms and we can move on. Okay. Games Workshop needs to add a mold line guide. Honestly, I feel like Games Workshop improved their mold line game. On old models, it was terrible. The newer ones still do have mold lines, but it's not as bad. Do you know which mold lines are the worst? The mold lines in the hair. That stuff bothers me so much because you can easily miss it. Like, you start painting and then you notice. Everything looks better on PC screen, not screen, doesn't it? Oh, this takes so long. Honestly, seeing someone dry brush entire army on stream must be so satisfying because you can see the difference immediately. This feels like I have been doing basically nothing for an hour straight. And to be honest, I am not even like... if I was painting offline, this would maybe take me even longer. Okay, I think that we can move to different layer finally. Just final adjustments. So all of this was basically a combo of these two paints, beige red and mahogany brown from AK Interactive. I absolutely love AK Interactive, my favorite brand, and I am not sponsored by them. I also use like different ones. And now we are gonna basically use just beige red and continue painting like 90% of what we already painted. So sorry. I'm a sweaty nerd. So this actually might be a huge value jump, meaning that now it's gonna be way lighter than the previous layer. But again, I will try to blend it later. It'll all work out in the end. Maybe not on this stream, but it'll be okay. Zumikito on YouTube. Google. I'm not saying that. But you should still do that. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, of course I'm not nervous when I am producing YouTube content. It's all scripted. So convenient. I think that this paint maybe is a bit too light. But still, as I said, it'll work out in the end, so no worries at all. This rimming thing will really haunt me. But that's good. Oh, is there an issue with my audio? Thank you for the follow, but I'm not saying your name. I'm afraid. Can anyone else confirm whether the mic situation is okay or not? Okay, thanks, Felzius. Might need to try AK mahogany for skin. Try to replace the Viejo Air mahogany with it, but the tones don't match up even remotely. I mean, all mahogany colors are quite different, so I'm not too surprised. Smooth but barely noticeable. I think that's my desktop computer. Pause the music. Hey Global, thank you for the follow. Okay, I think that the music is now off. Compared to a lot of other streams, I'm not picking up anything, but I also keep the volume low and the tinnitus a bit high. Yeah, I just really... or an angry giant mosquito. I mean, honestly, it might be the laptop because it's starting to heat up with all the streaming and stuff like that. Sorry if this has already been answered, but what kind of camera are you using for miniature focus? I've been playing around with streaming, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So this is the same camera that I'm using for my YouTube videos. It's Panasonic GH5. I don't think it has the best autofocus, and there are some things that I'm not too happy with, but overall, it's fantastic camera. Confirmed a bit of a buzz, like a slightly bad audio jack connection or sound card issue, might not be easily resolved. I mean, at this point, I don't think that I'm gonna do anything about it. I will just turn up the music and yeah, that's about it. Or you know what, there is one thing that I could try, because if it's my computer, then it's actually actionable. So I'm turning off the music. Now I have essentially turned off my computer. So now, let me know if it's better or not. No? Well, fuck me. Fixed? What? I didn't do anything. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I did something, and that is turn the mic away from me. So... To be honest, I'm not willing to do too much with my mic. So if this doesn't fix it, stop. Yes, it's an USB mic. If it's good now, I will leave it like this. Oh, okay, there we go. Meanwhile, I have lost like 5 viewers. But hey, anything to make your experience better. Hey Zirundar. Maybe those 5 viewers caused the audio issues. Might be. Do you like streaming so far? I mean, it's alright. It's alright. It's a bit tiring. I'm not used to streaming, so I'm not used to like recording painting and talking at the same time, but like it's manageable. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Well, thank you. So Global, tell me, have you came here from the Instagram or have you just been browsing Twitch? No problems, you don't know, but you already taught much from YouTube. Well, I am so glad to hear that. You know, sometimes I feel like whenever I make a video about anything, it's like I'm explaining something that is very obvious, and I feel like that people won't really appreciate it, because for some people it has to be kind of basic, but then there are people that maybe don't know it. It's not obvious to them. So it's nice knowing that people actually find it useful. I was just on Twitch and saw your name and recommended and lost it. Proper surprise. Yeah, I mean, if you followed me on Instagram, yeah, Instagram actually, then you would know. Real ones are on Discord. Oh man, I'm so glad that you watch all of my content. It's very likely that you spend more time with me than my family. Most miniature painters watched all your videos. I honestly don't know. When I was at Warhammer Fest this year, there were plenty of people that recognized me and approached me and wanted to like take a picture or chat, and that was amazing. Like it was a bit strange because most of the hobby you just spend painting the miniature alone, right? Same with the video production and stuff like that. So when you actually go outside and people recognize you, it's an unusual feeling. But also, what I wanted to say is that there were a bunch of people that had like no clue who I was. I'm sure. I'm not like a celebrity at all. My first stream, excited. Hello, Mockingbirdie. You know, I'm from Turkey and we have a small community here and all of them are aware of your videos. Well, that's awesome. I love to hear that. Any idea what color you are going to do the clothes? So there is an official illustration, and since I am a boring mother flipper, I'm gonna do something similar to this. Honestly, I don't know any of your content. Just clicked on you through recommended streams. Yeah, honestly, there is no expectation to know my content, so no worries. Sweet Jesus, Kingdom Death pinups, man. Yeah, it's fine. Boring. You're boring. As a girl, I can say that these are not really realistic proportions. I mean, we all know that it's fantasy. It's fiction, of course. She's got a big heart, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was actually wondering whether people are gonna like make jokes about that. And here we are. I mean, size doesn't matter, right? Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I feel less isolated while having streamers on. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, honestly, whenever I am painting alone, most of the time I listen to like a podcast or not streamers, but other YouTubers. Basically, I really like video essays about like games and stuff. Talking about realistic proportions, I think I enjoy the prospect of more academic busts more than fancy pants big boy busts. That's fair. Twitch fills the gap between YouTube releases for me, so this is perfect. Thank you for the follow, Blue985. I listen to music most of the time, but podcasts are great as well. Yeah, honestly, sometimes when I paint the miniature for way too long, like let's say 30 plus hours, I just cannot. I just cannot like listen to podcasts for 30 hours. That's insane. So I turn up the music as well. Token painting, for a second I see a lot of people doing zenithal priming, but a lot just then talk about using a version of contrast paints over top. Is this normal, or can traditional layering, blending, glazing, etc. be used with this priming technique? I mean, honestly, like audiobooks for the win. Yeah, also that. So when it comes to zenithal priming, it's useful for better coverage. So everything that you put on top just covers better, so that's why I do it. And also you can see all the details better, so that's also one of the reasons why. Like it's I think almost all of the time it's better to do zenithal than not. Ooh, that's a lot of messages. I'm painting along now. Fantastic. Facts, audiobooks are great as well. Yeah, like same as podcasts, honestly. I often watch video essay by a lad called Technology Connections who does explanation videos on fridges, turn signals, oil lamps, anything similar. Weirdly calming. Yeah, I just love video essays. Are you planning to do stream paint job check sometime? Like, what would that look like, actually? If you can describe it to me, I might do that. But this is my second stream ever, so I don't have any particular plans yet. By the way, thank you for the follow, Bobo Lip Art. I really enjoy listening to hardcore metal or video game soundtracks. Okay, I couldn't concentrate like that. Feedback sessions. Feedback sessions. Okay, yeah, well, my English is absolute garbage as well. So no worries. I mean, yeah, I might if people want that. Especially like for my patrons. Sure, like I am open to that. Sounds like easy stream. It's all good. Got you, buddy. It's all good. Of course we want that. Pirate call, 10 hours. What? Okay, I'll Google that later. So whoever has an access to my Discord, which is $5 and up, is able to get some feedback from me. So yeah, I mostly provide feedback via Discord, but I can do that on stream. If I have more money, you'll be the first Patreon subscription for me. I mean, honestly, if by the way, thank you for the subscription, Zerudar. I am not sure if I acknowledged you, but yeah, thank you. When it comes to feedback session on Twitch, I might open it to more people outside of my Patreon. But like, we'll see. I really dislike this stage because at this point the miniature looks like trash. All the brush strokes are visible. Still gotta do it, right? You'll see later that all of these visible brush strokes, like this imperfect blend between the mid-tone and the shades, that's gonna be blended with airbrush. It's gonna look fantastic after that. Well, hopefully. Don't worry, Zumi, I'll give you feedback. Who would it guess? He's the youngest and the sassiest. If it's going to be like a 1 hour session or something, giving feedback to someone, even if it's not on stream, you should consider making it a new limited Patreon tier for that. So, since I am not doing it nearly as often as I imagined when I started my Patreon, I don't think that I would make it a dedicated tier yet. If there is like an overwhelming demand for it, sure. I traveled between some Patreons. I was patron to your channel too once. For blending is the most important thing is paid consistency in my opinion, but there is no tutorial showing that at Patreons or YouTube tutorials. Okay, the thing is that you can blend with almost any paint consistency, but then it really matters what kind of brush stroke you make on the miniature, you know. The layer can be thick, but like the pressure that you apply, the direction of the brush stroke matters. So yeah, it's like paint consistency is just part of the equation. Just wanted to say hi and thanks for all the YouTube content. It's really great stuff. Thank you so much, and thank you for the follow. You know, for example, you can have like a really super loaded brush, but if you apply just a tiny bit of pressure in the right direction, then you blend without like going back to it. Like this is rough, but once it goes dry, it definitely is an acceptable transition. Maybe if you put a lighter layer like right next to, like in the space between the transition and the layer, then it'll be even better, you know. So it's essentially what I'm trying to say. You don't have to like glaze all the time. Any tips for painting a blood angel with airbrush? Done the base, layer colors picked, going a simple gradient look, some heavy metal features. Yeah, so actually I have like 2 videos on speed painting Space Marines. One is with an airbrush and one is without an airbrush, and you can apply the same colors and use either an airbrush or no airbrush at all. But I would suggest checking out those videos. I really like dry brushing blood angels from dark brown to a red. I mean, sure, that can work. To be fair, the best way to do it is to apply the paint and link the mini. Spit on it is way more efficient. Wow. This chat is crazy. But so am I, so I can't blame you. Yeah, we definitely are crazy. Now, I have to be honest here, I am not playing too much Warhammer. But what I do play is Kingdom Death. And this miniature is actually from Kingdom Death, but it's not like in gaming scale. And there is a specific stat which is called Insanity. And being insane actually protects your characters. So maybe, sometimes, to be insane is a good thing. I like villains and definitely the Joker. The camera goes out of focus quite frequently. Not sure what to do about it. Jeez. I like it here. Is it because all of us are insane? I wonder if my YouTube channel would be as successful if I didn't have the beard. Thank you for the follow, Boots. My beard was the first hook for you, huh? Spartan beard. What have been some of your top models to paint overall? I started with Warhammer, but nowadays I really enjoy painting Infinity, Bushido, and Moonstone models. So my favorite brand is definitely Kingdom Death. I just like the aesthetic of the models. They are sexy, and I like sexy stuff. But I still like Warhammer, you know, like the minis are high quality. Zumi, make a brush with your beard. Yeah, also that was a candidate for my April Fool's video. And I can still do that in the future. They're sexy and I like sexy stuff. I mean, is that such a surprising quote? As a married man, sexy models are a bit spicy for me to leave on the painting table. Yeah, well. That sucks. I mean, come on. It's art. I mean, we are all insane and sexy. That's true. Start selling beard brushes starting with 500. 500 what? Euro, USD, Czech crown. I mean, given that some people actually bought e-girl bath water, there might be a buyer for that. $500 Bitcoin. Wow. Okay, I would be millionaire. That bathwater was incredible. Tasted a bit weird, but you know. Okay, what is that message implying? I wonder. Yes, I think so. It's not me. Okay, this angle is definitely weird. But hopefully Twitch doesn't mind. I also found out that whenever I'm painting for, or whenever I am painting and talking to someone, that I am not as systematic. So for example, right here you can see me jumping all over the place, from arm to legs and to her boobs. And usually I would just paint, for example, just the arm, finish it, move on, finish the face, move on, the legs. You know, just more systematic. Right now I cannot really do that. And of course the paint is drying, so whenever it is drying I tend to move to different places, but still I would prefer to be more systematic in my approach. Do you know how many of your viewers are female? I mean, I know I represent a minority, but it would be funny to know. Well, I don't know the number exactly. Definitely don't know how many people on Twitch are female followers, but I can tell you that it's about 4% on YouTube. 4 to 5. Something like that. Jesus Christ. Where did you pull these numbers? Okay, I am slowly finishing this arm. Then I would like to finish the other one. Oi, oi, oi. Oh, this transition is terrible. It absolutely can be fixed with an airbrush, but I will adjust it with my previous layer just a tiny bit. Yeah, I think that's good. Well, actually... See, sometimes I paint like this, that I try to fix something that I painted. And then I fix that. And then I fix that. Yeah. And then basically I never move anywhere. I've been streaming for almost 3 hours and I feel like I didn't make too much progress. Shit. Okay, now this arm. Let's be a bit more systematic here. And then we all lick our brushes. Yeah, that's true. But do we share them? Do we share the licked brushes? No, you didn't. I didn't what? But what about the friends we made along the way? Just got back. Looks like progress to me. I mean, there is some progress, but I would always wish to be a bit faster. It's always funny that sometimes on YouTube I get comments that... So for example, on the last video, I spent on the main mini that is on the thumbnail like 2 hours or like 1 hour and 30 minutes. And some people tell me in the comments that I cannot imagine painting a single mini for 2 hours. What about gaming? It's not gonna be even beneficial to you if you paint it well in your game. So like for some people, it's natural to spend like a few minutes on a model, I guess. So what I meant to say is that how much time you spend on your model, whether it's too much or too little, that's all relative, I guess. Okay, I am coming back to this thigh, her butt. I feel like I shouldn't really even try to blend it too much, because all of that will be blended with my airbrush anyway. But I have a very minor OCD. So there is a compulsion in me that feels like I have to fix everything right away, even though I know that I'll blend it later. I usually paint 2 to 3 hours, 4 to 5 days a week, still like in 10 days. Huh. So that's 50 hours. Yeah, that sounds right. That's good. Is it like a display mini? Finished 13 minis this year, 10 marines and 3 nets. Is it from the Leviathan box? If so, that's fast. I don't play any board games or Warhammer, no one to play here. So the good thing for me is that I don't have to paint with playing. I can take my time on every mini I'll paint. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I play just the Kingdom Death. And otherwise I just paint to paint. Only the knits are from the Leviathan box. Okay. I mean, 13 minis, that might be more than I painted, so that's good. One competition piece and 2 in the works. Yeah, I started my competition piece, but it's in progress. Warhammer minis are extremely expensive here anyway. I will have to pick a 3D printer at some point. I mean, they are expensive everywhere, to be honest. But those minis are, as much as people hate Games Workshop and say that they are expensive and overpriced and stuff like that, still, their minis are absolutely excellent. And they are constantly improving. Related to painting, I tried to join local painting community, and when I showed them stuff, they were like, do this and do this, aka washing, dry brushing. I'm like, that's exactly opposite what I was aiming for. Post Discord, and all of you gave me a normal feedback I was looking for. Oh, are you actually on our Discord? Because I am not sure under what nickname. But yeah, you know, like, You can paint however you want, however you like, but it always depends, like, what is your expectation out of the process, right? If I was painting just a gaming piece, as I was on my last stream, I wouldn't exactly spend as much time on these steps. When I'm painting, I get hungry, I eat bottle. 70 to 80 hours of non-metallic metal broke me. Yeah, I totally understand. Painting a single piece for that long is just too much. The Screamer, Killer, and 2 Gans. The Marines are 3 Blade Guards, 5 Heavy Intercessors, 1 Chip Lane, and 1 Blade Guard Ancient. These are the models I painted this year. Sorry for that. I'm waiting a Leviathan box. Can't wait to do the Terminator. Do a Terminator from there. It's interesting how everyone likes the Terminators. Myself, I am not too big of a fan of Terminators, but I absolutely have to like the new ones. The new ones are fantastic, but the old ones are meh. It's fine, but soon I'll have more models painted because of the Gans. It's not, precision is easy. 100 hours per session is easy? What the fuck? Sure it is. Ah, okay, I see. My Marines are, by the way, Sons of the Phoenix. The best chapter, of course. Your special video inspired me to do them as well. Well, I actually have a lot of videos where I paint Sons of the Phoenix. But I assume that it's the one where I fucked my army. I just never stop painting, it's called commitment. Yeah, but you have to sleep, right? Or I guess you don't if you're 17. Worm is extra expensive. The Leviathan box is more expensive than an Lagoon Mark III. I mean, yeah, like 3D printing opens up so many possibilities. If you are just painting for yourself and not like a game or anything, I can totally see like not buying any Warhammer anymore. Paint only at 5 AM to avoid the kids. It's quiet. Even though I don't know the prices on US, so it might be the same. How long will you stream today? I don't know. I just wanna like finish this particular step, and then we'll see. My initial plan was to stream for 4 hours, but I'm already getting tired because compared to Solo the Tomato, I am an old bastard. I paint while sleeping. I'll start teaching workshops using this technique starting price. Oh, okay. Beard coin, the best one. I have seen that some of the streamers that are painting a Warhammer are streaming for like 6 hours or even like 9 hours. That's insane. And they are actually painting the entire time. Like, how can they manage that? I can paint for 9 hours, but not stream and paint. What I would really like to do is get to the airbrush process, airbrush step on this stream. But given that we are progressing very slowly, I might have to do it the next time. The secret is to lick your model instead of your brush. Like to last longer. This chat is fucking unhinged. And I like it. I thought we already decided to spit on me. Must be the crowd you attract. Yeah, I mean, you know my YouTube, man. Okay, Solo the Tomato is getting a bit too weird about this. I have actually thought that I could make like t-shirts. And there will be like a mini and a hand with a brush. And the brush is essentially painting the rim of the base, right? And under that would be like a text. I love rimming. And under the rimming, which would be like in bold, there would be the correct pronunciation, and under that the definition of rimming. And there would be like the act of painting the rim of the base. Yeah, I would also... okay, I actually might make it, so we'll see, but I'm not sure if it's like a problematic thing to wear on the stream or in a YouTube video. So I think that first step is for me to contact my I might have to contact some of the Twitch employees and see if it's okay to wear on streams. And if it is, then like sure, let's do it. You know. Do you think it's lost on most people? I mean, if it is, that's fine. Yeah, the fun part is you telling them that they should Google it. That's the fun part. And then, I'll make the same joke at work, see how they react. Well, careful there. We're just talking about painting the bottom part of the base. What else could this possibly mean? Yeah, let's do it, you know. I'll do it. Also, there would be a second version of this t-shirt, and it would be the same thing but with edging, you know. So there wouldn't be the base, there would be just some kind of edge, a hand painting with a brush, right, painting the edge, and there would be edging. I love edging. And under edging there will be the act of performing edge highlights or something like that. Which one do you like more? Do you like the edging one or the rimming one? Or both? If I actually get to wear it at Warhammer Fest, it would be so funny. I wonder if there would be like a problem with that. Jesus Christ, this chat is unhinged when I read it just like that. But yeah, those are just painting terms, right? Oh yeah, Sia, Mockingbird. So sorry, I missed that message. Yeah, so basically I was thinking about this idea for a few weeks already, but yeah, just had too many things going on. So I might try to open a merch store soon, and yeah. I am using only water. I don't really like using any mediums, except when I'm airbrushing, of course. When Zubikito says he's got too much going on, he means he's making a video about Space Marines. Yeah, I wish. It's not just videos about Space Marines. Sometimes it's the bureaucracy that is associated with running a YouTube channel. You know, when you are a small channel, it's a bit easier for you. You don't make as much money for sure, but at the same time there is like zero bureaucracy. Once you get sponsors, you actually get income from AdSense, then shit gets complicated. However, this is not me complaining, you know. Still, I am very grateful for the position that I am at, that I am able to paint minis and make it my full-time thing. So tell me, Solo the Tomato, we have spoken about this on Discord, maybe a little bit. What are your plans after school? Are you gonna try and be a professional painter? Shoot your shot? Meme streamer. No, I am like genuinely curious because clearly you can paint very well, as seen on our Discord. So yeah. I bet he's typing right now. The Discord is Patreon exclusive indeed. Well, I want to become a filmmaker, but mini painting is something I like doing on the side. Thank you for joining an average mini painter. So the next stream will most likely be on a Saturday around the same time. So I think that my schedule will be Wednesdays and Saturdays. See you later. Although I'm working on mini painting very much at the moment. Yeah, I think that you are very talented, so if you want it to make it like a business of some kind, I think that you have a decent chance at it. I wanted to lick my brush so bad, but I stopped myself. I'm blushing. I mean, I have seen your stuff. Just give it a few years and you'll be insane. I also know that you have a Patreon account of your own. So, how do you like it so far? Creating content for Patreon? Honestly, I have thought about like specifically making content on Patreon for learning, like higher level stuff. But I think that it's not really the path for me. I'm gonna paint a Space Marine next, so you'll never know. I mean, yeah, if you paint a Space Marine to an insane level, there is a chance that people will want to know how did you achieve a certain effect. So it's definitely a good strategy if you are starting a Patreon to paint a fuck ton of Space Marines to a great level, a great standard. I mean, feel free to plug your Instagram. I don't mind. Thank you for the bits. Yeah, so unfortunately I didn't set up like a specific alert for bits, so it's a bit more generic. But yeah. So I really hoped that we are gonna get to the airbrush stage, but as far as I can see, there is no way. The skin still needs a few more layers, like 1 or 2, and then we can start airbrushing a little bit. I'm not able to support you monthly, but at least something. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there is no expectation to like subscribe to me or anything. So this is absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, so honestly, at this point, what I'm doing is just like refining the blends between. It's just like the combination of beige red and mahogany brown, right? These two bad boys. So I am trying to make it smoother, but I feel like at this point I might do it offline because it's getting a little bit late. The stream isn't as interesting at this point, so we might actually leave it at that. And next time we'll continue and we'll start with the airbrush, or actually we'll have to do like 2 more layers and then the airbrush. So yeah. This is the stream. If you guys have any more like questions or anything to say, now is your chance, because I'm gonna end it in like a minute or so. Let me just read the chat for a bit. I might need to start uploading weekly on Patreon. I think it'll help. Yeah, listen, I don't know how many followers you have on Patreon, but I think that you need to release like more free content and then people will come. That's always the case. Like when you look at NRM Paint, just the one patron. Yeah, see, you have to release like free content, and that's the way to grow your Patreon. Thanks for the opportunity to interact with you, Zumikita Miniatures. Yeah, so as I said, there is a very high likelihood that I'm gonna stream every Wednesday at the same time. So starting at 6 p.m. GMT +2, but if you are following this channel, you'll be notified anyway. And also similar time on Saturdays. So yeah, super enjoy chilling out and seeing some hobby time live and in person. Thank you, Napping Abra. Yeah, okay, that's the stream. Thanks everyone for joining me, and see you on the next one.